Hey y'all, it's Danielle, and I just had a few things I wanted to share with you today. Um, there's very few things that excite me in the health world. You might be surprised by that. I eat pretty healthy and traditional. I'm very much into gut health and using chemical free anything. But I don't get I guess when I say I don't get excited by much, like latest diet fads, things like that. I don't jump on those bandwagons very easily. I don't think I've ever followed any of them completely, just for like a healing diet, maybe, as suggested by like my midwife. I took on some of that, but it's always been temporary anyway as a healing diet. Probably the only thing I've really stuck with over the years is gluten free. Um, and I'm cool with that. Like even with complete gut healing in the way that wheat is, I don't really want to ever go back to that. I've been eating this way for almost 10 years. So, but when it comes to gut healing and thyroid, and you have to maybe do more fats or cut out grain for a little bit or whatever, that to me, that's just a short term thing that we're meant to eat a variety of foods. And so I just don't, I'm not real keen on jumping on all those uh, diet fads. But I do think there's a lot of wisdom in how we combine our food and how we eat our food traditionally and whether we ferment it or soak it. Um, Yeah, I think that can be really important in continuing to have really good health. So, and that comes from a place where I've been in some places where I haven't been healthy, and I've used those things to restore my health a couple times actually. So, because stress can really do a lot to you. But as far as my children too, we it works for everybody. So, anyway, when we first started, so I was back to the fact that not many things get me super excited in the health world. Essential oils were one of those. I'm not an essential oil only a person. I use herbs and supplements and things like that. But what excited me about that was just how powerful they are and how they work on a cellular level. Hadassah was really little when we broke into essential oils. And the reason we did is because we had just moved and we'd been back and forth. Um, she had this nasty cough, and wouldn't sound very good. I was a new mom. She was my only child. Uh, yeah, well, Rebecca was a baby, I guess, in Illinois. And it wouldn't sound very good. And so I'd make an appointment with the pediatrician, but because we were new in town, I had to wait like 4 or 5 weeks to get in, even with a sick baby. So I would make an appointment and then she'd sound okay. So I'd cancel it. And then she might sound yucky again. So I'd call and make another one. And then she sounded really good, like it was clearing up and it was fine. So I canceled again. And this happened a couple times. And then through one of these periods where I was waiting for that doctor's appointment, our church fellowship had somebody come from a reputable MLM company for essential oils and speak on that. And I said, I think my daughter has walking pneumonia and I'm not sure what to do about it. We have a doctor's appointment coming up. And she said, well, while you're waiting on that, try these essential oils. And she gave me two. And within 3 days, the difference was unbelievable. And I never turned back from essential oils from then on. So that was a really powerful thing for us to be able to skate through that. We still kept our pediatric appointment. We still went and visited her as we needed, but really became just well baby checks because we we could nip things in the bud fast and solve things. But anyway, I digress. So the point of this video today is that I am really excited about CBD because health is important to me, and I have used a lot of things from essential oils to herbs and diet and supplements. And CBD is one of these things that I absolutely can't stop talking about because it is such a game changer. And so there's a couple things. I'm going to do a series of videos here to just kind of share what I'm learning and what I have been learning because it's just that exciting. I've been thinking about this, putting this video together for a few days because it's just cool information. So I actually backtracked from my original video I want to do. I'm going to do that in a second one. But this one, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit because some people need to understand a little bit more about what the endocannabinoid system is. And matter of fact, everybody really could benefit from learning more. Scientists are still studying the endocannabinoid system. It was discovered in 1980, and it's a very important system in our body. Just like you have your digestive system and your respiratory system, your lymphatic system, you have an endocannabinoid system. Everybody has one. And it's a really key, important system because the ECS underlies and controls the balance of all bodily systems by being a great communicator. So think about it as like a lock and a key. Okay, you have. Let me just make sure I'm getting this right. It's a system of messengers and receptors in your body. Okay, in the ECS, the messengers are like keys. The receptors in your body are like locks. So when your messengers, you're taking these cannabinoids in, they are searching through your body, looking for the locks that it's checking. Is this in balance? Is this in balance? Is this in balance? Oh, this is not. And it's like a key going into the lock, and it's unlocking it and opening up communication there where it was not communicating well. And so that's super, super important. Just thinking about the implications of that. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what else they discover connected with that. So if you don't have good communication, think about it this way. If you don't have good communication in your workplace or in your marriage or with your children or the relationships, what do you have? You have chaos, you have dysfunction, things don't get done right. I tell my kids to do something, and sometimes I even think that I've communicated it well, and I haven't, or they haven't listened well, or whatever. There's a disconnect. And so things might not get done properly. So when you have a disconnect in your body, you have the same things. You're going to have dysfunction. You're going to have chaos. You're going to have things that need to be communicated but don't get communicated, that just don't cross the line of communication there. So it's really important to unlock that communication. And this happens on a cellular level. There's receptors all over your body. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in some of these other videos. So that was a big thing. The ECS keeps tabs on. I made a list here because I've heard bits and pieces, but just to see it all together was a pretty impressive list. You have to remember that. Yeah, I'll get back to that. Okay, so your ECS keeps tabs on fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, and just in general your whole reproductive system, appetite, hunger, and in general your digestive system. So that includes your gut health and inflammation and all that. Sleep, motor control, pain and pleasure, and your immune function. And so there's actually receptor sites in your spleen, in your brain, in your gut, in your stomach, on your skin. There's just receptor sites all over. And remember, the receptor sites are your little locks. Okay, so when you're taking in full spectrum CBD, you are not only getting CBD, but you're getting, first they said 80, now they're saying over 120 different cannabinoids that they've discovered within a full spectrum hemp plant. And we're not talking about just hemp oil, the seeds, we're talking about the whole hemp plant, which is what you're getting in the CBD oil. When you get full spectrum, you're getting all of those different cannabinoids. So not only do they each have a different function, they also work synergistically together. And that, I'm telling you, this research is in its infancy, but the experiences that people have are through the roof. So we live in such a culture that we have to feel like we have to understand exactly why everything is going on the way that it is. But I'm here to just say that taking in plants and for nutrition and the supplements is been around since the beginning of time. And so used properly, you really can't go wrong. So anyway, those are some pretty impressive things that the ECS keeps tabs on. So there's only been 2 receptor sites, those little locks, that have been discovered in the body so far. It's CB1 and CB2. They are on the cusp of discovering another. I think that sounds funny because if they're on the cusp of discovering another, there must be another. So there's already number 3, but that's the way it was presented. They're on the cusp of discovering this number 3. And maybe they say it that way because it just entails like they don't really know what all that receptor, that third receptor site's going to be doing. But your body naturally produces endocannabinoids, which are your little messengers that go out to all the little receptor sites and the keys. But most people are deficient and need to supplement. So it's just like vitamin C, vitamin D, B vitamins, all these things that are crucial for your body. to work properly, you could be deficient in this as well. The difference is where the B vitamins or the D or the C or whatever tend to target like certain areas, which of course I believe, even though it only targets certain areas, it's still working synergistically for your whole body. Um, the endocannabinoids are truly targeting your whole body because it's targeting the ECS, that endocannabinoid system, which really has to be functioning well in order for all of your body functions to your systems to function well and to communicate well together. Remember, we talked about if you don't have good communication, you have chaos and you have dysfunction and you have information that's not crossing and connecting and getting where it needs to go for things to happen. So everyone's ECS is very different. They say that it's like your fingerprints, that everybody's setup and makeup is different. And so the key for taking full spectrum industrial hemp or CBD oil is starting low and going slow. And we tell this with everybody who gets CBD from us, and walk people through the suggested serving size. And you just work your way up to what you need individually. So everybody has a different sweet spot, is what they say, for what your system needs. And it's not hard to figure out. So if you have any questions about this in particular, just go ahead and ask. You can make a comment, you can message me, anything like that. If you want to know what CBD we use, I'm happy to share that with you too. Quality is very, very important. So if you have a CBD company that you're already using and you want to know if they're quality, I can give you a list of questions that you should be asking them and that they should be able to answer. And if they can't answer those, you need to find another CBD company. Um, it's really important. Another thing that's important to me is when I'm looking at their products, when I'm looking at a company's products, their creams, their salves, because there's all kinds of stuff out there. There's suckers, their gummies, their coffee, whatever. I want to know what else is in there. Because if they're putting chemicals in their product, if they're compromising in that way, to me, they're going to compromise somewhere else. So again, our company, one reason I chose them is that they don't do that. They're so committed to quality that they don't compromise in that area, and I'm a little bit proud of that fact because we've been doing essential oils as a company for 7 years. I've been using essential oils for over 12. We've been doing it as our own blending private company for over 10, for over 7, and quality is really important to us. And what we put into our creams and salves, or what we recommend people put into their DIYs, is really important to us. I mean, it's going onto your skin, it's soaking into your body. And the reason we're using natural alternatives is because we don't want the chemicals. So even if you're, whether you're using CBD or essential oil, man, check the ingredients on your bottles, guys. So, and if it's not great, DIY. That's my solution, or find a company that is, because again, we love our oils and we're very particular about quality. Again, we're not the only ones. There are a lot of good essential oil companies out there, but there's a lot of money making essential oil companies out there. So anyway, that's my spiel. Thanks.